there, how are you all? Hope you all good. I'm back with the one message. It's about marriage. And marriage is a very important part of everybody's life, you know. And this message going to be very, very helpful to the new generation, to the couples, who are getting married, who are already married, and it's very useful. So, who created marriage? God created marriage to be permanent, not temporary. So it's a covenant. It's not a contract base. It's not for some time. I feel good just for some time, and then I'm moving on. Not like that. It's to be permanent, and it's a commitment to between you know husband and wife to be faithful to each other. you know and you know marriage standard is very, very high on a god's for God's eye. Is for God, it's very, very high standard. And so you make sure whoever you're marrying, that person is for you, is the right person. And because it's about your life. you know if you're marrying wrong person, if that person God didn't choose for you, then you may spoil your life, your family's life. And so it's makes it makes a lot of difference than when you're marrying right person in your life. And so it's an marriage, it's an agreement between God and his people, like a promise. uh, God gives us a promise, marriage to be permanent. So I want to tell you some Bible verse and some Bible story. It's have you heard about Adam and Eve? They are the first creation of God. That's the best creation of God. That a human is the best creation of God. And God created Adam first. He is the first creation of God. And God gave them to live in a one garden. It's a Adam garden. God gave them to live there. Adam was living with all the animals, and it was a very beautiful garden. And God thought that he needs a helper or something, like any animal or anyone cannot fulfill that he needs it. So God thought about it, and then God put Adam to sleep. And then what God did is he took one rib out of Adam, like hard side. He took one rib out, and then he made a woman from his rib. So God created a man from a dust. He created him, and then he made a human. And then after, from his rib, God created a woman for him, like a helper. So Adam is the first creation of God. So God gave him the responsibility to obey. God gave them one command, that there is a one tree in this garden. It's in the middle of the garden. There is a one tree. So do not eat the fruit of that tree. That there was an apple tree. And God gave them command. God wanted to see that they are obeying me or not. And they create a human. God created a human. So he was thinking like that. So then so they were living happily, nicely with all the animals. It was beautiful. So one day what happened? Satan came and then say things to woman, if you eat this fruit, it's very good for you, and you will know the life, and you will be become a god. and you will know the truth. So like say things like that, and then Eve said to Adam, and then they both thought about it, and they were like, let's try the fruit. We're not gonna tell the God. God knows everything. So like they ate the fruit. She ate it and she gave it to him too. So like when God found out, and then he came and he was calling Adam, like, Adam, Adam, where you are. You know, he didn't say, God didn't say, Adam and Eve, where you are. But he was asking Adam, because God gave Adam, man, responsibility, gave command. So like let me so like God holds a man responsible first, then a woman. So God gives a man responsible work. So like you know, so God was asking Adam, and then they were afraid, and they were terrified, like, what's gonna happen now? And then God told them that, like, told them to go out of the garden and live your life, survive, do it on your own. And like they found they were naked because they committed sin first. So like they didn't obey God, and then sin enter in the world, and then it's all in the world. So like in all this story, I just wanted to tell you this, that God gave man responsibility of the work of if you see in the Bible verses, there is a like husband is the head of the house. Why? Because God created him first. He make him stronger than a wife. Like nowadays, like women are way stronger, and it's like doing more in a work, and like more better than men some works too. So like women are getting powerful. So some women don't like to hear that they are lower than men, but they think it's God is not saying that they are lower than men. God created man and woman. God loved them both equally, and they are both equal. It's just God gave both of them different work. So like man is God created man strong. So like God gave him responsibility to the head of the house to take care of the house, and he make him stronger so he can take care of his wife and the children, protect them. That's why he made him stronger, to provide for the family. So like that God gave him responsibility, and God gave woman to to be respectful to the husband, and to the husband God said to the man to love your wife, and wife respect your husband. And like in a biblical standard, like a ground is like a man holds a responsibility first, then after a woman. So like I want to tell you some Bible verse. Is Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them fall down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls, has no one to help them up. Two are better than one, because if one person fall down, one person get weaker, then the other person help pick them up. So that's helpful. It's a good return of their labor. Another one, Genesis 2:18. The Lord God said, it is not good for a man to be alone. It's not good for a man to be alone. There's chances of adultery. I will make a helper suitable for him. So That's a woman. Another one is 1 John 4:7. Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. So, like, let, let us love one another. God is saying, love one another because love comes from God. If somebody's saying that, I don't believe in God, and you know but they are staying in a love, they have a girlfriend, boyfriend, and saying that, oh, we are in so much love, and but we don't believe in God. So, like, if somebody's love, God created a love. God is love. So if you're in love, then God is in you, and you know God. Like, everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. So that those they people, if they don't, think that they don't know God, but they actually know God, that there is a God, because God created love. So Ephesians 5:25, husband, love your wives just as a Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. God is saying to husband, love your wife just as a Christ loved the church. Like Christ loved all the world, like that, love your wife so much. Love, it's a good one. Proverbs 18:22, he who finds a wife finds what is good and receive favor from the Lord. Like, people think that, oh, we got married now, as life is going is okay, and taking it for granted, but God is saying that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and they are receiving favor from God. Who is getting married, who is getting wife, they are receiving favor from God. So, honor each other, respect each other, and love each other so much in love. Matthew 19:6, so they are no longer two but one flesh. When they get married, when they become one, they are no longer two but they are one. They are one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Therefore, when God joins somebody together, when they together, let no one separate them. If somebody try to separate them, then they have to answer God. So another one, this is very famous, is all about love. Like, what is called love? It's the 1 Corinthians 13:4-5. Love is a patient. Like, how you can describe love? That love is a patient, love is a kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it does not proud, it does not dishonor other, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrong, it does not dishonor each other, it does not only self-seeking, not just doing good for themselves, does not easily angered, and does not keep the record of any wrong thing, just forget it, love each other, so that if you truly love the person, then you forget things, have a patience, have a kindness, does not boast, does not proud of the self. So that's called love. It's a definition of love. So other one is Hebrew 13:4. Let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled, for God will judge the sexually immoral and adulterous. Marriage is held honor among all. No. 1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as a weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of the grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered. If not understanding woman saying to the husband and and dishonoring the woman or not understanding, then God's not gonna hear the prayer if you pray God is saying. This is my favorite one. It's Genesis 2nd 23rd to 24. Then man said, this is Bible verse is like when God created a woman out of man, and then man sees, then when God wake man up and then man sees a woman, then what man says? He said, then man said, this at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. What a wonderful. Like, this is my bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. She's taken out of man's, out of the ribs. That's what a wonderful it is. And God is giving commands that to the husbands that love your wives, and to the wives to respect your husband. Do not disrespect. It's all about love. So marriage is very, very wonderful thing. It's a beautiful experience.